What's up, guys? Hey, this is Justin, and I realized I've not done a review on the Benchmade Bailout yet, which I'm not really sure how that happened. But anyway, this is the review of the Benchmade Bailout. I think they have a new version now that actually uses, is it crewware steel? I think there's a G10 version of this knife that came out after this version. This, I think, is the first one that was released. This is the, I don't know, just plastic scales or whatever. And this is in 3V. Tonto blade has this little lanyard hole at the back. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started. Looking at blade steel, this being 3V, I gave it the same rating as the Skyke Pocket Monster. I've heard some things about Benchmade's 3V and the heat treat process, it not being quite sufficient, not holding an edge very well. I can't confirm or deny that. I've just heard those things. So I just gave it the same score as I gave the Skyke, which is a 7. As I mentioned in that video, 3V is a very tough steel. It's not stainless, which it's nice that they coated this blade in this really nice, like, I don't know what kind of finish this is. It's a little bit rough. Feels like sandpaper, but it's a really nice finish. I like the look of it a lot, and that should help the steel resist corrosion, so that's nice. But yeah, very tough steel. I've heard it's relatively easy to sharpen. I've never personally sharpened 3V, but I can't imagine it's too bad. So anyway, moving on to the clip. This does share the clip with the bug out. You can see there, nice deep carry clip. Relatively short, but not too difficult to get into the pocket. Good retention. I did mention, I think in one of my other videos on some of these clips, finding some like residue on the underside of the clip after putting it in my pocket. Actually, Lauren found that first. She put her mini bug out into her shorts and some black residue came off onto her shorts. So I did send Benchmade an email. I haven't heard a response, but just as kind of an FYI. So anyway, looking at the clip, I gave this a score of an 8, which is shared with the bug out. Moving on to lock type. You can see here, this has the axis lock, as do most Benchmades. You know, nice lock, very fidgetable, easy to move, easy to actuate, and yeah, just a really nice lock design. So materials on this, as I mentioned, it has the plastic scales that all bug outs have, which are okay. It has these steel torque screws here, steel thumb studs. Nothing fancy, but nice enough, and I'm sure it'll all last a long time. Has these steel liners around the axis lock there. So I gave the materials a score of a 6. Nothing fancy, but durable enough. Moving on to size, this one's a little bit longer than the base bug out because of the lanyard hole here, and I think the blade as well. But I'll compare it to the Mannix and then the Buck 110 here. So about the same size as the Mannix. The cutting edge is a little bit longer, and then the Buck 110 just kind of makes it look small. Not really, I guess. About a ½ inch longer. Oops, sorry about that. So yeah, I'd say medium-sized knife is a good way I describe it. But with the plastic scales and the, I don't know if you call them like half liners, quarter liners, whatever. It's a very, very light knife, very easy to carry. I've carried it in shorts, pants, anything, gym shorts. Really, really easy carry. Looking at the action on this one, the action on this was very, very nice out of the box. It was just about perfect. So you can see here, flicks open nicely, and most of the time I can get it to close if I'm not under a camera. But yeah, just a really nice smooth action. So I gave this action a ranking of a 9. Not fully broken in yet, but I expect it'll be a lot smoother as I own the knife longer. Looking at the hardware, this, like the mini bug out and the regular bug out, has a T10 pivot screw, and then it has the T6 body screws and clip screws here, which those are okay. I mean, nothing to write home about. If they were all T10s, I'd be happier, but these screws are fine. The access lock can be a little tricky to disassemble, but once you've done it once, you know, it's pretty straightforward. So I gave the hardware a score of an 8. Moving on to price, this guy I think was around 140, 150. So it's, you know, definitely not a cheap knife. I always joke about the butterfly tax, but you know, Benchmade's they're doing some really nice work, making really good products, and their quality has improved significantly in the past couple of years. So yeah, expensive knife. I gave it a score of a 7, but you know, this one you get 3V steel, you get this nice tanto, this nice blade coating, which you can kind of see it there. Excellent quality. Get this lanyard hole at the back. So yeah, overall I think it's a reasonable price. I'd probably knock it to like 125, 130 if I had to choose. And then finally, quality. This one, you know, again, as I mentioned, really nice out of the box, really smooth action. Was perfectly centered when I bought it and has not moved at all from that. So yeah, I gave this one a score of a 9. I did knock it because the grind is slightly uneven at the tip here, which, you know, you can see from side to side, a little bit uneven, but nothing too severe. So yeah, just really nice out of the box, and you know, props to Benchmade for really stepping up their game. And then looking at competition, maybe this Spyderco lightweight would be competition. These two are about in the same price range, have a similar lock, both have plastic handles, both have higher end steels. You know, the Spyderco is going to be larger in the pocket, but it does have this nice wire clip, which helps conceal it. It's also very light because of the plastic handles. You know, you can look at other bug outs, normal bug outs. Yeah, those are probably the main ones I would compare it to. So yeah, anyway, that's the Benchmade Bailout, very similar to the bug out. Actually, I do want to do a size comparison with that. I didn't have it handy, so I had to run and grab that. But here's the Bailout on the top versus the bug out on the bottom. So you can see here, very close in size, but the Bailout handle is just a little bit longer, I think, maybe by 1/8 of an inch or so. The blade lengths, I think they're closer than they look. The tanto kind of throws your eye off, but anyway, there's the two Benchmades together. I think the Bailout has a wider handle too. If that'll stay there. Yeah, a little bit than the bug out. So anyway, thanks a lot for watching. If you guys have any comments or questions, leave them down in the comments section. And please subscribe if you haven't. And have a good day. We'll talk to you guys on the next one. See ya.